So I think as a city region, we're still all just digesting this news. It's weird. We've had a few days to get our head around this. And I was just talking to Bill off camera. That kind of limbo feel has been lingering. We now know what is happening. Bars, pubs, gyms, leisure centres, betting shops, adult gaming centres and casinos will all close from Wednesday. We're still waiting just on full details in terms of timings. Restaurants can stay open, as can retail outlets, schools and universities. Bill Addy from Liverpool Bid Company, just give us your reaction to the confirmation of these tighter restrictions.
Jay, just desperately sad. None of the things we ever wanted Liverpool to be. Well, we do want Liverpool to be at the top of many trees, but not this one. And to see Liverpool being singled out in the Liverpool City region as having the highest level of hospital admissions for COVID is just desperately sad. And clearly, that's right. At the heart of this is what we need to deal with: how we can get those hospital admissions down, how we can get the rate of COVID infections down, and how we can get our city back to life in its normal way. So it's just a desperately sad day.
Obviously, this weekend, Bill, we've seen lots on social media, some really kind of moving pleas from local business owners. You know, I'm directing that to Natalie's video on Channel 4 News. Lots of other kind of spokespeople in terms of hospitality in the city. It's been really grim seeing those voices and those people that have done so well for this city in that state, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than some of your viewers, but obviously I've been in this city since I was born, but lived and worked through the 70s, 80s, and I've seen how bad it's been in this city. And then to see the city come back in the way we have over the last 10 years has been quite tremendous. And you know, that's also what's very depressing at the moment, quite heartbreaking to see operators who have invested into their time, their energy, their money, and they've really enabled the city to take off as we've taken off over the last 10 years. The visitor economy was booming, our city centre is booming, and yet that's why it's sad, and that's why it's painful, because at the heart of this year we talk about this COVID virus, but it's its impact on jobs, it's its impact on those at the vulnerable in society, but also it's the impact on people's aspirations and hopes. And it's just been going on a long time, hasn't it? So now we've got to get up again from this knockback and get on and fight this and get back into being the Liverpool that we are.
It's probably too early to ask this question, Bill. You know, we spoke about this a few months ago. How will we do that as a city? You know, I know there's lots of work being done behind the scenes. How can we come through this? And when will we come through this, in your opinion?
Well, do you know, one of the things we've got to do, and this is probably the hardest for us, because we're all social beings. We all love interaction with each other, but we've got to actually, to stop the transmission of the virus, we've got to break down and stop these social mixing. So gatherings, mixings, sharing with people, and it's all very painful. But if you don't mix with somebody who has the COVID virus, then you don't catch it, and you're not able to spread it on. That's part of what we're going to do. So we're going to follow the guidelines. You know, that wearing the face coverings. There's nothing macho about not wearing a face covering. You need to wear face coverings. You need to wash your hands. You need to socially distance. And then you've also got to do, while you're doing that, try and support the businesses who are operating in these. So the businesses that are locked down, we need to support them, and we need government to step up to the plate and support them with financial package. And the new furlough, or whatever, furlough Mark 2 or 3, provides some comfort, doesn't provide sufficient. But for the businesses that are opening and operating in this environment, we need to be able to go into those businesses and use them. So still go out to the restaurant, go out as a family and go into restaurants that are safe, go into retail in the city that is safe, and to try and carry on life as we can. So it's about supporting and about encouragement. And it's just the simple things, you know, about being kind with each other. There's a lot of hate on social media at the moment, and we need to just step back from that and say, we're all in this together. It sounds like a cliche, but we are. We need to work hard to be the Liverpool that we really know we can be.
Bill, it was released on Friday that footfall has come down dramatically in Liverpool city centre. So that's people coming into the city centre for shopping or for using restaurants and some of the attractions. Is this going to make it worse now, in your opinion?
Yeah, you'll see footfall fall back continually. So we've lost at the moment, sort of at the height of the recovery at the end of August, our footfall level got back to over 1 million in the week. We're down to 700,000. So that's 250,000 we've lost in footfall activity in the city centre. So as a mark of the activity and the health of the city. And that, compared with 2019, that's about minus 45% on where we were last year. So it recovered to a reasonable level, but it's falling back quite sharply. And the worrying thing about that is that we are moving towards what should be the busy period of the year. We're moving towards Christmas. Christmas is 10 weeks away, but our Christmas in the city centre normally starts around about now. It starts with half term, Halloween, and then straight into Christmas. That's only 3 weeks ago. Before that, 3 weeks to go before that should start. That's the big difference in the city.
I think that's what people are finding most difficult at the minute, aren't they? This is a time of year when you're kind of aiming for Christmas, Halloween, bonfire night. We've got so many big events and attractions that normally take place here in Liverpool. And that's what's really quite sad about what's happening right now. You put Christmas on every year in the city centre. What's it going to be like in 2020? Have we got plans to celebrate?
Well, we will celebrate in the way that we can do. So we know that we don't have the resources that we've normally had in the past this year. Like all organisations, the bid company also is suffering from a loss of income. But we are working with the City Council. So the aim is to dress the city centre. The Christmas tree is being sourced. So I know Kenny Brew at the city has been up looking for the tree. We know where that. So we'll have the Christmas tree in Church Street. We're also working to get lights into the city centre in a similar way that we did last year. We won't have the tunnel of light in Church Alley, but we will have trees, we will have lights. But as you will have heard from the city that some of the other events are not happening, even the run up to it. So the remembrance service on the St. George's Plateau will happen online this year. The festival, the River of Light, and the bonfire, there won't be a big celebration on November the 5th. Festival River of Light is still happening. And I know there are discussions about Christmas market, and we'll know in a few days whether that's still going ahead or not. So activities will still happen. Of course, the big activities we all love is the theatres, and they are again struggling because you can't operate pantomimes in the same way. Oh yes, you can, but without socially distant, if they're socially distanced. So everything we thought of the normal that we have for Christmas won't be there this year. And so it's going to be difficult, but we get through it.
It's going to be very different, isn't it? And great to see some pantos still happening. Great to see, even though we won't have those fireworks on the 5th of November, we will have build up with lots of light installations in the city. Fingers crossed, all going well. We'll have news on that.
That's right.
Very soon. Bill, just to finish, what would your advice be now as head of Liverpool bid company? What would you say to any local businesses within Liverpool and within Liverpool City region right now?
I would say to the businesses, we will do all that we can to support in terms of providing the guidance, the information, in terms of lobbying very hard to get business support. And I would say to those businesses, try and fight on, try and keep going. We need you in the city. You're what makes this city the great city it is. And I would say, we understand and we're hearing the pain that they are going through at the moment as business owners. We saw that very, very clearly in some of the interviews over the weekend. So we're there for you, and we are working to bring this city through this.
Okay, I can't wait to see this Christmas tree, Bill. Keep us posted.
It'll be excellent.
Keep us posted. Will it have a face covering on?
I'm sure it will do, with the fairy on the top.
Yeah. Listen, Bill Addy from Liverpool Big Company, thanks for chatting to us on a very busy day for you. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Jay.